Have you ever wondered how long it takes to make an animated movie? Have you ever looked at your drawings and thought, wow, I wish I could just put this drawing into a movie of my own? Well, I'm here to tell you that's really not as hard as it seems to animate. In fact, using Clip Studio Paint to create animated scenes is pretty darn easy. All it takes is really to be somewhat decent in making illustrations and then being able to tell a story, to put the two together. And I'll tell you, the hardest part about all of this is just coming up with the ideas. The animation process to put it all together is pretty easy. I'm going to share with you 4 steps that I use to make my videos. Okay, step number 1. We're going to start with a scene. What? A scene? Well, that sounds pretty basic, doesn't it? The scene is going to be what you're going to use to tell your story in. It's very much like a set would be if you were shooting a movie, only you get to draw your set. How cool is that? The scene you're going to use, though, needs to have enough intrigue in it so that the viewer is going to be automatically compelled to watch your movie. So, what kinds of compelling ideas are there out there? Well, you could create a scene with an old haunted house. You could create a scary lake on the edge of a forest. Maybe, maybe you have a forgotten temple out on the side of a mountain. Okay, now we're going to go on to step 2. We're going to design the models that we want to animate. Are you going to have a spaceship fly across a planetscape? Maybe a sprite to examine the forest plants? The models you should use should be somewhat relevant to the scene and the story that you're going to tell. But this isn't a hard and a fast rule. You might want to create some story contrast by having, let's say, maybe a robot investigate a magical world. That would be pretty cool. Almost like a cyberpunk Harry Potter. Whoa. Okay, step 3. Now you got your models and you got your scene done. Now to let the magic begin. You're going to import those models into your scene and you're going to place them into an appropriate animation folder. These animation folders are going to contain all the information that Clip Studio Paint is going to need to make your movies move. Then we're going to use an object tool to move these models around your scene, and you'll set up keyframes, and the keyframes is how Clip Studio Paint remembers where you last placed your model. So before you start moving your models around your screen, take a moment and think about what story it is that you're trying to tell, and make the models come in and move about a way so that the viewer experiences a story. All right, now we'll go on to our last part. We'll take a look at your overall movie prior to exporting. Double check your artwork. Are there some places that maybe you want to go back in and add a little bit more detail? Are there some places where maybe your background just needs to pop out a little bit more in certain areas? Do you have all your right focal points? Take as much time as you need to. As I said, the program makes it so easy to go back in and re-edit the things that you've already done. Once you get all that done, now you're ready to export the animation into any number of file types. I like to put mine in TikTok and YouTube, so I prefer to use MP4s. Once you get your file exported, save it to your computer, and then go ahead and upload it into your favorite movie app, be it TikTok or YouTube or whatever it is. I hope this helps. I've been using this for about 6 months, and it's gotten pretty addictive. In fact, I'm having so much fun. I think I've probably made more movies than what I could shake a stick at right now. Or at least a lot of practice ones anyway. Well, happy movie making, happy editing,